Oh, look at that. Easy. Alright. Wow, my network has less stars than my Dawn Warrior. That's crazy. I mean, it makes sense. My Dawn Warrior, I start up during the event, so it's not surprising that. But yeah, it's higher. It's Arcana. This is Mars now. We're probably going to be getting less XP on the Bowmaster now, which is kind of unfortunate. I might. I'm not sure how much I'm going to do if grinding of anything on the Bowmaster. When you're at this level, especially if it changes, I feel like Bowmaster and Monster just grinding is less valuable. But I still should be using probably 2x and definitely the yellow potions. The problem is if I don't use 2x, I'm gonna waste these, and I feel like I've already had half the time. Anyways, let's get the. I think I already done Spring Day, didn't I? Yeah. I need to. This is already done for the week, so probably should. I mean, not probably. I should definitely use this one at work at this point. Probably do weekly boss with my sister Nightwalker tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to use these on yet. Still kind of unsure. It's funny the Hyperburn's still here. It says I can get these in this character, which is weird that I can. I'm not going to try it because I want to leave these for my Nightwalker. Oh yeah. How many do I probably need more? Yeah. So I don't really care about much of this right now. I mean, I probably should care a little, but like, I don't even know why I put the one crit. I probably shouldn't have. With EXP required to go 15%, which is just like it's 5% more leveling, right? So it's 100% worth no matter what. This is probably at the maximum for the Aqua Venture recently, so I don't think I can do that anymore. I don't think there's anything else I can do right now. Claim one claim. I don't think I have any one coins to claim, right? Oh, I do. Okay. Let's claim those because it's always worth claiming. Even though the shops aren't particularly useful to turn around. Maybe get the VIP buff, which I guess the VIP buff is useful. Shit, I didn't mean to put that. That's fine though. Still barely matters. In the long run, like 10% damage. Put some music to play in the background. What album do I want to listen to? I haven't listened to actually. Let's look. I listen to a lot of Opeth and Judas Priest albums now. I listen to Asia albums. Let's see. Okay, it's best metal album. I don't want to listen to. I don't want to listen to. Definitely don't want to listen to Metallica. I'm not a fan. Death Symbolic is #1 in Metal Storm. I've already listened to Symbolic though. Oh, Painkiller is also #1 here. Rust in Peace Megadeth's #3. Really? Well, Blackwater Park #4, which is surprising. Paranoid. I never really liked Paranoid, but like I said, with Power Slave, Iron Maiden's really high. Maybe it's just Power Slave. What is Locked by the Mantle? Ooh. That's a more modern. That's 2002. Let's listen to Locked by the Mantle. Okay, so any good. Locked the Mantle. LP, but it's pretty long. So we'll try it out. Oh, before I listen, I want to see the Mantle thing. Let's see what information I have on them. There is. That's what page. It's not the Mantle. It's Igalock. Who the fuck is Igalock? Extreme Metal from Portland, Oregon. Okay, I think I've heard of these guys before. Um, Disbanded, but reunited. Okay, so they might be making more music now. So we're gonna try this out. This is really interesting. I wonder how it. Very highly rated. Wow. Okay, so let's listen to it. It sounds like it's pretty good. I've never heard this band before. Or barely. It's only too loud. Apparently, the acoustic guitar very opethy. Let's see how that goes. Let's get these dailies. I always save my Advanced Engineering for my Evan. I need to get my Evan ranked up. I also need to start doing dailies for the Phantom Force and my Nightwalker. Because I need to get the Balanced Furies. It's going to take a little bit of time to get those. Let's get the shit out of here because nobody does these. I mean, I shouldn't say nobody, but I definitely know them. These are not worth it. It's so much time and effort for such a slow thing. I do have Lotus and Damien stuff though, so I probably need to do those weeklies. Actually, I could. Yeah, I don't really need to right now. I'd have 10 coins. What I need to do is actually save these for my Nightwalker. I think about it. I don't need to use them as much on my Bowmaster at the moment because I have this. Maybe I should get a second bow and just start working on a second bow instead of this one. No, because it's not good enough yet. It's still slightly worse for bossing than the other one. It's got the Vellum, fuck me. It's got a good bag. And I got this one sitting in the back if I need the Ursus, but I think I use that Ursus for Nightwalker. Yeah, it needs to change. That's such a bad cube sale's still going on. Technically, I could buy it until 30 minutes from now, but I got burned pretty hard on cube sale earlier. But you know what? I'm gambling Giga Chadmas. I don't know. Oh no, yeah, it's right here. Sorry, yeah. Let's do one of these. I think that's all I'm gonna do. I do need to say for Star Force, so I'm not gonna. We'll run through the extras I have, and we'll see if I get anything good. I need to get some sort of IED, definitely attack percent. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, that was my first one. Holy shit! Where the fuck did that come from? What the fuck? Okay. I just got a 3-line. I don't even have a use for this one anymore. I don't need it anymore. I mean, I could technically have one for farming, I guess. Okay. I guess we'll try to get this legendary. I don't even care what's this legendary. I got a 3-line after all that bad luck earlier today with Nightwalker. I'm okay with not getting this legendary. That was really unexpected. What's my current one? Yeah, only 1 line. I mean, isn't that just better? Only thing I don't like about this, I don't like the attack line, the damage line. I mean, but the boss damage line is pretty good. I think this is just better. Yeah, I think. It's crazy to put a unique on, but I think it's worth it over the legendary. I need to upgrade the legendary, so let's get this legendary. Hopefully get a 3-liner. Or 2-liner. Jesus. Alright, well, fuck me. Technically it's worse with boss damage, but I think it's what I'd rather want to know, because I want to see if I can get this unique to higher number. I mean, almost 3-line, but we definitely need to rank this as a legendary. Oh, millions. Surprised that much. Because I don't care if it's ranked stuff. I got a 3-line emblem today. That was first try, even. I would really like to see this still rank up. I don't care about the lines to rank up for now. All I really want to see. Curious. No rank up. I'll live. That's a pretty decent legendary. Not as good as 2-line, but it's still 21%, right? So, like, I'm definitely not going to beat that until I get legendary, probably. This I probably need to not flame up, potential line as well, but I mean, that was a crazy one to get. This is 12% more attack, so. Alright. But that was unexpected. I got burned pretty hard earlier today, so I'm surprised that went that way. Oh, I should get link skills. I mean, I really only care about the XP ones. I think I one-shot everything here anyway. I'll grab boss damage, because fuck it, right? Grab Phantom Instinct is big damage. You know, it's probably better, yeah. Hybrid launch is probably the best here, right? Oh, it's a little slow, but I mean, it's not bad, I guess. I mean, I'm not against them, right? It's not bad. Very Vector-esque. I think it's before Vector, so I guess it's kind of unfair, isn't it? I just gotta make sure it's before Vector. Yeah, okay, I thought it was. I had to make sure I wasn't wrong there. These guys are like a decade before Vector, so. Room resistance on, right? I hope I do. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think I do Black Mage today, don't I? Well, Sword is Black Mage. I mean, means I go to a Limina day, actually. Kind of interesting. I went back left. This is not that bad, actually. Four, not 5, 6, 4, 1, 4, 6, 4. 1. Yep. 4, 6. Back to 4. 4. I think 5, not 4. Ooh, 7. 1. 1. 2. 4. 7. Might be 5 actually. 1, 2, 1. 1, 4, 6, 1. Weird. It's not a 5 to 1 for sure. It's flat 6 to 1. Oh fuck. Why did I think that was the place I put it? I don't know where I put it. I put it here. Okay, I'll do it. I shouldn't, but... Ooh. I don't know if that is. It's hard. I like the usage of different voices. I really do. Like, it's so many different sounds for his voice. It's actually really good. That's why I was like Opeth, for example. They would swap between different ways of singing. Got some sort of dissonant chord there. Marching snare, interesting. Different voicing for the chords. I love Tubular Bells. That's Chunk Bells. Kaiser. Not very common to see Kaisers here. Also not very common to see Kaisers KSing. Interesting. It took a little longer than I thought he would to leave. I thought he was going to stay. Which, I hope he did, because fuck him. I got a turret, so... I don't know where the best place is for this. Actually, the best maps for killing mobs. Slurpee. This is the best map? Oh, wow. It's because it's small and a lot of enemies. Did I steal his map? No, okay, I didn't. Thought I had. I want this one. Anyway, he could have waited like 2 seconds. I feel like Blazing Earth is the best map. Let's see. Vanishing, Journey, Best. Oh, nobody's here. That was a long fucking song, 16 minutes. Felt like a mix between like Opeth, Vector, and Steven Wilson. Oh, poor country, I guess. But to be fair, Vector came long after these guys. So I would not credit Vector with anything. I would credit Vector taking that kind of style. So I would credit Vector. I would say Vector took the style, which is fine. They did a different thing with it. They made it thrashy, right? So. I wonder if the limited maps are good to stay. I've not liked any of the maps. They don't want the Vanish Train for sure. Definitely don't want Choo Choo. Rest we do want though. 1%. 1.7%. Oh, wow, yeah. We're doing limited today. It's cool. I've never done this before. This is the first story I do on stream actually, because I skipped all the others. Haha. Yeah, I don't think so. Did I catch you again this week? Oh, I do. It's subject to catch me shit. Okay. Yeah. I don't really need an MVP. I'm not too worried about it. I forgot to use a gold potion. You know, fuck it. What was that? 38 chance maker? I'll do it. Free buffs, right? Take them. Whoa. It's a very chill song. As long as metal is interesting. I guess the later ones come. We'll do it once, buddy. Is there a mall here? Or they have poison, maybe? Despite being slow, that drums drives it forward, that snare and roll. Pretty good. Oh, Lotus Soul somewhere? I do, I have 3, wow. Any Earths today, right? No, I probably didn't. Oh shit, I'll do this later. Oh shit. Let's see, how many more days? 18. A lot of days, but still don't have any more adventure journey at all in this character. Would be nice. Except for the Nightwalker, a lot of this is boosted by the 6-star dailies. What is that chair? I think it's a chair. Holy shit. I guess I should do. I don't know why I'm wasting time. I should do this, shouldn't I? Is there going to be any Ursus? Oh, I can do 4. Okay, cool. Echo, nice. Ursus buff. This is 151. 5. That's not 5, is it? I don't know. I'm really bad at identifying chords, I feel like now. It's 6. 6. Yeah, because it doesn't feel like it wants to go back to 1. It feels like it wants to go to 5. 5, 4, 1. Or the 3. 2, 2, 2. No, it's definitely 5. Right? Get our daily Alex done. Another Bowmaster. Oh my god. Piano. The lower notes are out of tune by like a quarter of a semitone. Maximum. Pressed F there, but I don't think it registered it. Yeah, solo burst. And 1 burst goal looks nice. Ooh. That's an interesting bass drum sound. Okay. Oh, fuck. That's very quick. Fast MVP. 6 minutes off from each other. This is very like, it's kind of like death vocals, but very much closer to Vector's. So I think Vector just took this style from them and just scratched it. First time. I was looking at chat. I don't need the familiar though. Ooh, that's such a good transition. I really like that. I really don't like that bass drum though. It's too soft. No, it's open. It's interesting how much I hear in these songs. I'm like, it sounds a lot like much more modern bands that I've heard. I wonder how many people are actually inspired by these guys. I've never heard this before in my life. But it sounds like I hear a little Ghost, I hear a little Vector, like I hear a little. Obviously they're after Opeth, so they were inspired by Opeth. But it's kind of interesting, like kind of putting all of them together. Meme? How about 6, folks? Oh well. Save it for tomorrow. I guess we're saving up money for Starforce event for my Nightwalker and try to get better equips. I should push for Lotus. If I can get Lotus done on my Nightwalker and hopefully get Lab equips, I get 17 star those during the event. Oh man, that's a week from now I think, so probably pull Vellum this by the end of this week. I don't know if I can do Lotus. Maybe. I mean, I should definitely burn it. I don't know how hard Damien is on Nightwalker. Probably a lot harder, because the way I play Damien on Bowmaster is like, I don't even act like I'm taking damage half the time. Because Damien does a lot of just not full damage, right? So. Damn. Oh, that's more damage. I was like, how's that more damage on that? But I realized because of the strength line. Unlucky with the strength line, though. Bro, I got a 3 line in first try. I couldn't even rank up my legendary emblem with 200 cubes. My Nightwalker. Or was it 150? I think it was 150, I'm not sure. I think this run levels me up. If it doesn't, the next one will. There it is. 55, and that's with no hyper burn either. Oh, okay. I don't know what to put there besides combat orders. Oh, I already have combat orders. I don't know what to put there. What nodes do I put here? These last 3. I guess I have air to shower. I don't know. I have air to shower equipped. Ah, fuck. I don't know. I guess boost nodes. I don't have any right now, but I could craft boost nodes and put them there. I have blink, right? Yeah, I got blink. I have 4 of these, so I should max out. So I'm missing some skills. I'm obviously missing Will of Erida, but I mean, come on. Missing these hyper. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's 4 skills that are worthless here. I think I got all of them, so I don't even know what to put here. So I just max these out with another 2 nodes for each of them. Is that a string base? Sure sounds like one. I guess I'll put that there because I can't do anything else with it right now. And this one's less useful. Move this over here. I guess oh, it's not that one. Actually, yes, that one. Phoenix is not a bad one there. Phoenix is not that bad. Okay, let's do the rest of my import later. Let's do Lumina. I never done this quest before, so this is the ending. Yay! What'd I get? Wow. Oh, whoops. Did I mess up? Probably all full maps, by the way. Knowing Lumina. Got it by farming. Oh wow, nobody else got surprised. Oh wow, this is a lot of monsters, man. Holy shit. The heck? Probably gonna be an easy fight, but I don't know for sure. Let's see. I'll burst him, I guess. I don't know any of the mechanics of Dark Knell, so I figured he'd die instantly, basically. Wait, what? Why people get Junior Reaper? Oh, the Black Friday sales. Funny timing for that. No. Really fitting for this. I mean, imagine the time so close. That timing's really funny though. 1 second, sorry. Let me look at is my stream cut off? Not even good quality. I mean, let's take a break from like a lot in those ones. I want to see some scares. Fun little shorts.
Hi.
Okay.
All right, all of these animals will start with the letter P.
Okay. Okay.
It's part of a much larger puzzle.
Hardcore debates, which I can't join. Does everybody here agree that Hamas by design is trying to maximize civilian casualties? Do we all agree with that or no? Because it's a ridiculous analogy, and you've made like 3 of them so far. I'm curious if you have any idea why, or if you are truly thinking these are good analogies. I'm just curious what you'll say. If I'm going to reject the analogy, why would you think I would reject any of these analogies?
Well, I think you're probably going to reject the analogy because you're going to say that the
No, not even close. What I'm going to say is
because they no longer wanted Hamas to run it.
Because why?
But the point is,
Wait, no, wait. Why didn't they want Hamas to run it?
I'm sorry. Do we want to go through the history again?
It was because Hamas was a terrorist organization that was attacking Israel.
So
yes, that's the whole point.
So wait, hold on. 2014, did Hamas agree to renounce violence?
I was speaking to a hostage negotiator this morning. He made the comparison between the 50 hostages that Hamas has promised to release, as opposed to the 150 prisoners that are Palestinians that Israel has said that it will release. And he made the comparison between the numbers and the fact that does Israel not think that Palestinian lives are valued as highly as Israeli lives?
That is an astonishing accusation.
Wait, what? No, who said that? No shot.
If we could release 1 prisoner for every 1 hostage, we would obviously do that. We're operating in horrific circumstances. We're not choosing to release these prisoners who have blood on their hands. We are talking about people who have been convicted of stabbing and shooting attacks. Notice the question of proportionality doesn't interest Palestinian supporters when they are able to get more of their prisoners out. But really, it is outrageous to suggest that the fact that we are willing to release prisoners who are convicted of terrorism offenses, more of them than we are getting our own innocent children back, somehow suggests that we don't care about Palestinian lives. Really, that's a disgusting accusation.
Apparently, the IDF minister said today they expects the fighting to continue for at least another 2 months. Oof, we'll see. Just curious if any of the talks with people have changed your mind on anything. I'm hoping they will. I'm trying to get them to, but I feel like I'm running into this pattern. Sometimes people will bring up things where it's like, oh, that's a bad thing, but the bad things that people usually bring up are going to be like one-off events. Like, oh, well, here was a time where an IDF soldier did this or that. I was like, okay, yeah, these are bad. I agree these are bad, of course. Nobody disagrees. But whenever big things are brought up, like say like that flotilla incident, or when big things are brought up, like, oh, well, look at where Israel's bad. When I start reading through the records, I find that I usually side with Israel way more in those circumstances, and I start to distrust some of the people that are evaluating these things as secondary sources, or some of like the UNHCR or the Amnesty International shit or whatever, I start to, yeah. That's what's happened. I don't think I've had any like major investigations yet where after doing a big deep dive, I'm like, okay, shit, this was really, really bad for Israel here. This was a huge fuck up. I will say this, it could be that there are a lot of big Israeli mistakes that were made from 84 and onwards in Lebanon. I haven't done my big deep dive into the Lebanese wars yet. And I know, for instance, there's one hugely cited massacre that I think Sharon was the, or Diane, I think.
Yeah, I check on. Yeah, when you get skin you're for the Black Friday sale. So I don't really give a fuck about it. I just want to make sure that it's not something available for me. I am not buying shit. Yeah, Junior Reaper pet. Okay.
No, Sharon, Diane. One of these two was the Minister of Defense when the Phalanges like massacred that those Palestinian camps. There's at least that. So it might be that there's a lot of really bad Israeli activity that happened during the Lebanese wars, and I've just missed that because I haven't read through all of that. That was Sharon. Okay. I haven't read through that yet, so I could be missing something there. Right now I'm thinking that's like the thing that I'm hopefully missing the most, but I don't think that's because by the time we're in Lebanon, we're past 1980 now, right? We're talking about a group of Palestinians that were literally expelled from Jordan for trying to coup the king. It's like, yeah. And then also, I don't know, I don't know why or how. I can start to see, now that I know like more of the histories of like some of these countries, I feel like I can start to see these like macro character patterns of like these countries, or maybe the people in them, or maybe not. Maybe I'm like dramatically overestimating, but like I can see why Egyptians might feel a certain type of pride about who they were, right? That coming out of like World War I or World War II, like, yeah, we're the leader of the non-aligned world. We got a massive military, big economy, a lot of people like ready to fight. I can see where like some of these personality types come from, if they even exist. Jordan is like the cunt kid in the corner. I don't know anything. Lebanon's history just seems absolutely Jesus Christ. I haven't... Lebanon... I'm trying to think of all the countries I want to study next. I don't know which one it would be. Now I'm like really impartial to the... Or partial to. I'm partial to the Middle East now, because now we've gotten some stuff here. Now when I start to remember like characters and faces and stuff, it's like, it's way more entertaining hearing them all engage with each other. Saudi people seem really cool, but I'm very biased towards Saudi Arabia. One is a U.S. ally, too. I think they explicitly try to be like more Western friendly. It's like, Saudi Arabia seems interesting, okay? I feel like going up to Iraq is going to give me a lot of good history on like Iraq and Iran and the Kurdish people though, which might be more interesting. Also probably foreign stuff too, because of, I think in 1995, there was the Baghdad Agreement. Did I say 95? It's 55. I don't know what I just said. Is it 50? I don't actually know. Oh yeah, the Baghdad Pact or whatever, 55. So I might get more international stuff here. Lebanese history seems ultra f***ed. Lebanese history just, I don't understand anything. I read it, and it sounds like basically in Lebanon, they wanted to make a Christian majority country for some reason. And then there's like 3 or 4 different groups of people that live here that have essentially been, like, if you think Israel-Palestine is bad, I don't know why nobody cares about Lebanon, or maybe we just don't hear about it, but it's like unbelievably fucking unhinged. Like this whole country is like, the whole history is just fucking unhinged. I don't know why it's not talked about internationally more. I thought Lebanon was just like a chill place, because I always heard like, oh, Lebanon, they must be chill, I guess. And Israel-Palestine was like, everybody's like, holy f***. But I also want to know more about Iran too, because they're like Persians. They're like kind of separate from all of this, but not really, right? It's like the Arab League plus Iran. And Iran obviously has a lot of interests relating to Israel today and like to the West and the United States.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's some
Why do you like
innovation.
pro-Western governments better when the West has a hand in f***ing up some of these nations like Iraq? I just think Western-style democracies and nations are like pretty cool. I do think there was a very interesting argument though. Oh shit, did this come from Irk? I might explore this like line of reasoning. I think Irk gave a very interesting argument, like an anti-democracy argument. It might not have been Irk though. it wasn't Irk, or maybe it was. I feel like it was Irk, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was somebody else. But somebody gave me a really interesting argument that in some ways democracy actually sucks shit, because when you look at a lot of the historical actions of Israel,
Well,
And to regard fate with them. This is because the few. True, but they cannot see the future. But there are so many every hand gesture, processing such. It's like a two-dimension. With the right process, yes. He saw destiny and changed it.
The demon is worthy of my gift.
With a single sentence, he set a new destiny in motion. Countless futures were within his grasp, and he made a choice. And that in turn resulted in everything. All this time, we've unwittingly danced to his. He has led us on to this path. The path to Genesis. Oh, we fought of our own. We just didn't know. Look here. Within this fragment of futures that what I have been examining across the many timelines, there is one great The only one who truly accepted his plot was Will. The other commanders rejected the Black Mage's goal. They chose survival. Now look around you. Do you not see? It means our death. There's no way that I can see to change fate.
You must focus. I know. I've known from the start. I'm sorry. Listen to me. No. Don't you see? You're the one. That's why he's trying to make you lose hope. Prove we are not the... Fight. That's an order.
I'll take orders from you. You barely.
it's actually the anti-democratic people. It's
I don't understand. I'm not sure. By flying fish. Rip. I see.
Preordained. You only quicken your pace to
That's
its
weird.
end.
This is actually. I mean, 60-minute fight. Holy shit.
You don't know what I've seen. The chains constricting this world. I've seen a careless god and people without a purpose.
Who's the careless Gotti reference?
Adversary, it's time to meet your destiny.
He die already? Man.
Jeez, took you long enough. Fighting all this time? I can barely make him flinch, and it doesn't seem... So it looks like you get to end this thing after all. Let's go. I'll get my revenge.
Struggle if you must.
Well, probably shouldn't stand in death. Oh, it's interesting mechanics. A lot of stuff going on at once here, and
Well, yeah. Genesis is about to begin. Listen, when he's weakened, you've got to summon... Are you really this dense? You failed before, so get it together and focus. Good. What?
boom. I did it. I beat him. All I gotta do is press spacebar a few times, and I'll summon the power of the adversary. Never mind.
Did you think you had escaped the path? You will not live to claim the true power of the adversary. That is your destiny. Your future has been decided.
No, you did. Just one step, though. You do have the determination to see this through.
I actually don't know who it's fucking is.
And we don't need someone who's given up.
Like, why is she here?
It's time. Pull the fleet. The White Spear will proceed alone. I leave the rest to you, Claude.
Of course, Empress. All non-combatants!
White Spear, full speed ahead! We shall be the spear that pierces.
Alright, I'll watch this video because I don't know what. You're kidding. Cool.
How long has it been?
10 minutes since the giant.
Perhaps we should direct.
But you were the one who rejected that
Well, this.
Nineheart. Get it?
You're right.
I'm worried.
Look, over there. Up ahead! Our ship! Quickly!
All cannons, fire! It's going to be all.
Communications are. Empress!
We have destroyed the jet.
Did you hear that? Yeah!
Air to flow.
I've been waiting a very long time to meet you, you know. I'm serious. You and I have been locked in this struggle for ages. We have a bond in that.
I don't know why it's so quiet. I'm sorry.
Well, mainly I want to.
And I know why, because I didn't turn it up.
Put an end to.
Well,
Immortality becomes a prison. The powers of a transcend. Me. That's right. You see, we were both bound by death. Now, I have a question for you. That was the moment you broke free of the path I had laid out for you. So what I want... Perhaps I lost something of... Without that, my quest could never succeed. Perhaps I lost something of... Without
He said already.
my quest could never succeed.
He said already.
It seems our time... When you discovered that I had put you on this path... If I... You've done what I could never...
A noble sacrifice, then.
Wait. Yes, I...
Cover them! Cover!
All cannons! All cannons!
I wonder if they made this and then maybe Maplestory 2 next after this.
You've done well,
At least from KMS.
just as I asked.
Here's sickness.
The giant is done for!
Stemmer du? Jeg er døden.
Funny timing. No fun. I look at this as Mihail, and nobody else has a name. Well, I guess the text didn't keep up with the scroll speed.
Sí, Liz, yo me acordaré de ti. E iré a verte al cementerio con una flor y un perro. Y en tu funeral cantaré en voz baja. Qué bonito es un entierro.
Basic pitch metal, thanks. And it's off. Okay, on. I'll turn on some stuff. I'll actually listen to the game instead of just. Oh, the song changed so soon. Oh God, no. I really do not like these characters except for Tess. Tess is the only interesting character of the original bunch. That's because he has a connection to other things. Yeah. Giant's heart. Alright, well, Giant's heart then. Like the Giant's heart? Not this map, is it? Oh shit, these guys are really high level. Yeah, it's not surprising at all. What the fuck? Alright. Oh, that's what I need, yeah. Hey, look, that's a Dawn Warrior skill. Those are cool cutscenes. I like that. Three doors. Oh. And back into 100 levels ago. I like this sprite a lot more for 9 Heart. That will be a long time from now. Oh shit, you get the hat. Literally saw it once earlier. I guess I will save it. Fuck it. It's level 30. Okay. I mean, it was okay. Now I can do limit farming, which is good. What's this one? What's on this map? Do I state these limit maps finally? Realistic, I'm looking for a Legion guy. The Legion guy isn't here. It's... Oh yeah, also this daily now. I also gotta get the badge too, so I'll do some work on this guy. Let's look here. Probably are people in these maps now. Like, I don't think I'm only finding very many empty maps. Wow. That's not surprising at all, though. I mean, it's kind of what I expected when I get the Limina. It's probably... Is this the most popular map? Maybe I should go to a different map and just grab this, because there'll be less people here, right? Because soldiers are fighting them. This doesn't count for Limina monsters? Barbarian. Oh, fuck me, there's gonna be people everywhere, dude. I can't only find one empty map, and now I can't find any. It's not surprising, I guess. Oh, it's empty, empty map, empty map. I mean, these count as Limina monsters, which is good. Alright. I gotta be careful when I jump here. I gotta jump really low. Ooh, look at that. I also need to get the familiars, so actually need to turn on my familiars to increase drop rate. There we go, that's what I wanted. I got two of them. Now I need a Transcendian. Alright. Probably should move my... Oh wow, there's a lot of mobs here. Probably this map's not that popular. Maybe it's just because the other maps are higher level, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm done with limited research already. Oh, not that. That. 2%. Cool. Okay. It'll be a while before I do that. A long while. I don't know if my Bowmaster will be able to kill the Black Mage in the future. We'll find out. We'll see. I don't even really know. It may end up being my Nightwalker. It'll probably almost definitely be my Nightwalker first. Just do the damage alone. But actually start getting good at the game and not just shitpost around like I do right now. Nice to get familiar from those guys. I have a feeling the other one's gonna be much harder to get the familiars. Oh, put these back up actually. Alright. Let's go around and pick stuff up. I don't see any familiar cards though. Okay. You got me to do that, whatever. Come on right here. I'm not gonna do for much longer on this character now. I can do familiar farming. Oh, hey, well, I got a nodes done before I got familiar. Wow. It's hilarious. Here we go. Alright. This is a 1% damage from, yeah. Only 5 familiars, but I'll do it later, I guess. Oh, I have 19 flames I need to burn. Alright, well, I'll probably burn through those flames. They did a Nightwalker? They'll burn tomorrow. Oh, that's actually... Wait. Hey, isn't that... Are these already disappeared then? I think I'll still hang on. I swear because we've got more stuff here. I'll do the rest of the monster park later. For being extreme metal, it's not a lot of extreme metal. Hey, what do we need to change to burn on? Burn. Flame. The cup. It's better flame, right? Is there anything better to use it on? I don't think so. I got really bad flame here. But... Fuck, dude. I mean... Oh, hey. Alright, 8 stat percent is what I want. Stat percent, or a lot of luck and attack. Ow, okay, well, fuck me. Alright, that didn't take long. I definitely need to flame something else. Can I reflame this? I can. I don't need to reflame it anymore. Wow. It's like, okay, I should probably reflame this, right? It's only 4 attack and 40 imp. Definitely don't care about this, so I definitely need to improve this. I wonder why it's saying... Okay, yeah, it's because I didn't see I have it equipped. Alright. I mean, it's good. It's slightly better. I just kind of want to burn through these flames, honestly. Should have probably stuck with it. That's okay though. Yeah, I'll stick with that. It's pretty good. And then that flame kind of sucks. Dude, really? That's the flame it gave me for the Avengers? Let's reflame that. Yeah, that's a significantly better flame, I think. It could have been better still, but I'll live with it. The flammable is garbage. I just need the burn throne. That was an interesting album.
The Minister of Defense. It's the these closed door discussions where they're really trying hard to adhere to Western values, to win the support of the international community, to not attack and invade. But it's all of the anti-democratic elements of the government and the military that are trying really, really, really hard to maintain like their status in the world is not being unhinged. But as soon as more and more democratic elements are introduced to Israel, it's all of the voting people, it's all of the democratically led things that end up ruining everything for the country. And that in some ways maybe you could argue that the democratic parts of Israel are actually the more ones, and if you would just make it the autocratic, military leaders, whatever, if you had them like doing diplomacy and all this shit as well, maybe the country would be like a more moral place. I don't know, that's turned out. I wish I could remember who made this argument to me in DMs. I thought it was Irk, but maybe it wasn't. If Gisticle made it, he'd be spamming in chat with joy that I referenced it. I don't know if that's even a good argument, though. I just think I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was a really interesting argument to make. One of the most gruesome terror attacks in the history of Israel. In 79, I don't know anything about this. Was this first Intifada? God, fuck, bro, this first one, who cares? I always mix this up so much. No, 80s. 87 to 93 is the first Intifada. What is happening around here? What was the initiation on this? I also think that like this is kind of like an anti-Western thing, or it's kind of not cool, I guess. But like from I see why like movies talk about like kings and shit. I think from like a narrative point of view, it's really cool to watch these figures that lead countries have personalities and take their countries in certain directions. Whereas I feel like for democratic countries, it's so not the case. Like we have a presidential leader for at most like 8 years, and like when I think of Egypt, like I think of like Nasser and Sadat. Like I think of these figures. When I think of Iraq, I think of Saddam Hussein. I think of like the Assads for Syria. I think of all of the Hashemites,
better map.
all the little there's like different royal families for all of these Gulf states. I think of like Dayan and Golda Meir and all of these like big name figures for Israel. And then for the United States, like, well, we have a democracy, so every 4 years we have like a new dude, basically. And it's like, oh fuck, well that's kind of lame. That's just like we have like the United States. We don't have like, oh, this was like the U.S. dictator for 17 years. Like, okay, let's see what do we do, I mean, like, obviously, I think democracy is probably a more moral form of ruling. It's probably a better way to represent the will of the people, but it's so much less interesting, That's like, okay, well, here's president, comes and goes. Here's another president, comes and goes. Here's another president, whatever.
I thought we idolize certain presidents.
People are saying remove the 2-term limits for U.S. president. I think the problem with the U.S. president is the reason why term limits on presidents are probably really important in the United States is because something you have to keep in mind is, especially if you're a Euro, our president has a lot of power. Our president has a lot of power. It's not like in a lot of European states, you've got this like cucked prime minister that has to like walk around and take like at least 7 different dicks in his ass to form a fucking majority government and all this and make all these cringe blah blah blah. Our president is like, sorry, my legislative bodies are passing shit I don't like. Veto, get right? Oh, also, by the way, I'm the leader of the armed forces, so I'm just gonna do what I want. You don't think I have authority for it? Well, I'm pretty sure I got like an authorized use of military force like 30 years ago, so f you. Or, oh, you don't want to fund my military? Well, I'll just sail our Navy halfway around the world and we'll see if you want to fund and bring them back, motherfucker, right? Our president has a lot of power. So having term limits on the United States president is probably pretty important. It's not like a prime minister where you can like vote a no confidence them away or do like weird cuck shit. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, I feel like the US president probably needs term limits, yeah. People are saying the UK Prime Minister arguably has even more power. Is he really? I don't believe you. Does it, like, can the UK Prime Minister do things that are equivalent to like the US like executive action or unilateral control over the armed forces? Is that like a thing? I actually don't know. I truly don't know. Maybe they do. Do you glaze the founders of the United States? I bet if I did more research on them, I would. The little bit that I do know of the founders, I glaze the founders heavily. I think the founding of the United States was a truly unique and super special moment in human history. I think that the formation of our Constitution and all the principles of our government and everything, I think we're ultra, super, omega based. But I also feel like on a macro perspective, like if you believe that the Jewish God allowed Israel to succeed in the Middle East, then you must believe the Christian God allowed America to succeed in the New World, okay? Because it feels like the whole world was kind of like stuck in this feudalistic kingdom bullshit, and the economies were all slowly, like, we had this mercantilistic shit, and everybody's kind of looking around, and you had the weird religious bullshit of the king wanting, like, divorces and annulments and all this cuck shit or whatever, and then you get a group of people who happen to be all 184 IQ certified. I've seen the tests, number one, okay? Number two, the best powdered wigs, okay, and the best outfits come over to the United States. They have a whole new territory to work with, number one. They're the smartest and brightest dudes in the whole world, ever, okay? I don't know if people know this. The only reason why Einstein was as smart as he was a direct descendant of Benjamin Franklin and some unknown Ashkenazi Jewish woman, okay? But that's for another time, okay? All the best people. They made the best constitution. The oldest living one still in use in the world, by the way. Get Europe. You guys think you have old shit? Our constitution is older than all of yours. Suck a dick. Okay? And then we had like a whole territory to expand to. So we got to do everything we wanted on our own. We even got to fight our own civil war without other people invading us. And we had the whole stage to it. We were the main character. Okay? We got chances to build everything. We got chances to construct our shit. Our government was cool. We did slavery, which kind of sucked, but then we got rid of that eventually. And then, like, you guys in Europe were still trying to, like, figure yourselves out. You were so ass mad that, like, you just, like, you were bombing each other. You were so mad. You looked at the U.S. and, like, God, how do these guys all work together? This is so cocked. And then you guys start going to war with each other, blowing all your shit up. We're chilling on the side, like, okay, I guess. We'll just, like, sell you guys shit and go fuck some shit up. And it's just, like, so good. The United States is so cool, okay? It's a good-ass place.
Yes.
Neighboring us are really important to this as well. I agree. That's why I said it was, like, a perfect moment in history, right? Like, if it would have been the case that, like, America was, like, attached to Japan, or, like, it would have been, like, a 100-mile swim instead of the enormity of the Pacific Ocean,
Atlantic,
then it probably would have played out a lot different. I agree, yeah. Oldest constitution. The United States of America has the oldest in-use constitution of any country in the world. This stupid cuck of... I don't know, what are they counting, the fucking Magna Carta? That's not your fucking constitution. Get the out of here with this bullshit, with this cucky. No, off. This is bullshit. No one cares about this. That's not the constitution that your government is currently using for your bullshit. Get out of here, Brit Fox. You refute San Marino. Hold on. Okay, well, you know what? Let's find out. Constitution of the Republic of San Marino is distributed over a number of legislative instruments, of which the most significant are the Statutes of 1600 and the Declaration of Citizens' Rights of 1974. Get out of here. The current legal system. Oh, look at this. Sorry. Look at this country's name. The most serene Republic of San Marino. Are you allowed to add adjectives? What is that a... What, can I be like the glorious states of the USA? What is this? Can you do this? Does the UN recognize countries like that?
Can you do this?
Well, I guess it was the 1600s, so no, I didn't. Cringe. United is an adjective? No, united is a proper noun, motherfucker, okay? We are... It's all part of who we are. I think my voice should be okay for a couple more hours. The practice of dual heads of government. Oh, interesting thing. I've got Qatari and Saudi Arabian people emailing me about their monarchs and shit. Oh, but anyway, the explanation given to me about kings in Saudi Arabia is that in Saudi Arabia, you've got the king and then you've got the crown prince, who is the king's son or next in line to become king. I forgot this. But apparently in Saudi Arabia, kingship doesn't generally pass to the next heir. It passes from person to brother. And when the brother becomes king, because of how old it goes and because it's passed from brother and not to son, generally, like, the kings are, like, pretty old. So this is why the king is, like, the ultimate authority. But effectively, the crown prince ends up exercising a lot of power because sometimes the kings get really old and then the crown prince is, like, the one that's running around doing everything. And the king is the only check on the crown prince. But if we learned Arabic for Middle Eastern shit, you have any idea how unbelievably powerful we would be? If you can read Arabic, can you read Hebrew? Or are these languages like totally fucking unrelated to each other?
Like the same thing, bro. And
Not at all. Human and Arabic are different languages, so even though there are many similarities, there are many differences. Oh. Well, that many similarities and you're describing like everything ever.
yeah.
If I learned Hebrew, oh my god, dude, I would never beat the Mossad allegations. If you learn Spanish, the next arc would have to be solving the cartel situation. If we learn Spanish for South American history, that'd be super interesting. I watched a YouTube video offline. Bro, I'm such a fucking loser nerd for like everything history right now. Like even when I'm offline, I'm like watching and reading shit. I watched a really interesting YouTube video that talks about the narrativation of history and how it's interesting that different countries have like core concepts that are related to understanding the history of the country. And for instance, like for the United States, South America is not a core concept. Or maybe your guys' education was different, but I don't know if we learned about a single South American thing in my entire high school education. Ever.
True. I didn't either. No.
Like, at a single time. I don't know if we ever mentioned a single
in terms of U.S. history,
in the
monodoctrinal
history of
was
South
Brazil.
America in all of U.S. education. But I think the guy was making the argument that if you're in South America and you study history there, like if you go to school, like U.S. intervention into South American countries, these are like core points for South American histories for certain countries. So it's interesting that like the core concepts of some countries, the core historical narratives, might involve other countries who don't even see it as like a core part of their narrative. Or for instance, like the for the Mongols or whatever, I think they were. Like for Genghis Khan and shit like that, like he's seen as kind of like a side note or whatever for Mongolian history. But like for the rest of the world, that's like every time you say a Mongolian, they're like, oh my god, you mean Genghis Khan and all this shit? Yeah. Fuck, I wonder if I could find this video. It was actually really interesting.
Bro, how many fucking maps did I go to?
Well, it's that time of year again. Happy Genghis Khan Day. A year ago.
Is it really pronounced Genghis Khan? Oh no, are we jiffing Genghis Khan's name?
Well, it's that time of year again. Happy Genghis Khan Day.
Fuck. Okay.
A year ago, I made a video on Genghis Khan Day talking about a certain aspect.
I don't even know where I got linked this fucking video from. I must have been on a YouTube deep dive. It's good to look at history as an event, experience, and myth. What happened today? How do people think about it? Yeah. Well, this is also another reason why, because I recognize this too. History from like, like the 1800s onwards is so cool and interesting. From like I'll say the late 1800s was interesting because there's so many documents, there's so many archives, there's so many descriptions, we've got video, pictures, all of it is so cool. Like, cause you can like, oh, like what actually happened. History from like the 1500s is like, what did the like kingly scholars write? And it's like cringe. I don't even know of any of this. Like, there's some narrativizing, blah, blah, blah. And like prior to like the 1500s, it's like whoever decided to write shit down. Like you literally have like Jesus Christ is like the history of like the 0 to 100. Like, fuck, it's cringe. Like it's super cringe when you get like into early history and it's like, oh, like what happened in 1940? Well, in Auschwitz, you know, we've got picture evidence of all these, you know, mass graves from cremated Jews and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, cool. Like, what happened in the year 130? Well, we dug up a fucking pot, and there was a piece of shit smear that probably came from, like, Ptolemy, the fucking philosopher, and he wrote a poem about how a king had a 72-inch dick. But what we think that actually means is he probably had, like, 15 heirs, and one of them, you know, became Cleopatra after they had a surgery. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like old history is like cringe, and reading about it is cringe, and reading about the sourcing is cringe, and the documentation is cringe, and all of it is cringe. But maybe that's just me. Also, I hate history and I'm biased, so keep that in mind, okay? But like, yeah, late 1800s and onwards, based, okay? Yeah, people will say things like, well, the Romans were good historians. Really? Paul F. Email me a picture that they took, bitch, okay? Or video, okay? Or even just an audio recording, okay? Link me a Roman audio recording. I want to hear a Roman talk, okay? I want to hear a Roman talk, and then I'll believe you, bitch.
Of Genghis Khan's life. And some of the comments on that video were incredulous that there is such a holiday. That, you know, why would there be such a holiday as Genghis Khan Day, which is a national holiday in Mongolia? But, you know, people in the West, and I think people also pretty much everywhere except for Mongolia, think of Genghis Khan as a brutal conqueror. And so it's a little counterintuitive that there would be a holiday for him. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why. Why does Mongolia have a holiday honoring Genghis Khan? Let me start.
What's the difference between the Romans and the Greeks? You want to know my worst history black hole? Because I honestly God have no fucking idea, okay? I'm pretty sure one became the other. Like the Roman Empire fell and the Greeks took over, one or the other. And all I know is that for English class, I had to memorize 2 completely fucking different set of gods. Because there was like the Roman gods, and then there were the Greek gods, and I think they were the same, but they all had like different names. Which I have no fucking idea what in terms of like, yeah, clip it for Twitter, boys. I have no fucking idea the difference between. Apparently men are obsessed with Roman history or some shit. The only thing I know about it are the summon names in fucking Final Fantasy VII. But actually, even those aren't, wait, even those I don't think are, those are based on, fuck, what's the name of it? Oh, I should know this. Somebody tell me. Norse gods, yeah. Wait, were the Norse gods Roman? I don't remember.
No. Oh god, his knowledge is crazy funny sometimes. Norse gods Scandinavian. Like Norwegian, Denmark, I think, or more delayed.
Name 5 emperors. Yeah, there was probably
Hirohito,
Cassidius the 4th, Darcidius the 12th.
Oh, well, Roman, yeah, fair enough. Augustus,
Barthidius, Darth Sidious,
Constantine,
and Brad Pitt.
Caesar.
Okay, I watched that movie. It was a good movie.
Yes. But I am more white than you. You look gypsy. I am blonde hair. Blonde hair I have. You gypsy.
That means that someone, your mother, that is Turkish, but your father is not. Oh, your mother is a whore and she got fucked someone. You are weak sperm. You are weak sperm. This is the strong sperm. This is the Greek god. Okay, Greek god.
If you have Greek god, you would have win, but you lose.
Lose where? Lose where?
You lose. Why is Hagia Sophia this? Not.
Well, you're just talking like a Mongoloid.
I don't give a fuck. I am a Mongoloid. In my heart, I'm a Mongoloid.
Okay.
That is what I am. We are a horde. That is what we are. Yes, we are that. We are 100% that.
That's not something to be proud of.
It is something to be proud of, because the Mongols are the ones who created civilization. And you created nothing but barbarism. You're the fucking barbarians. You destroyed the treasures of mankind. The Mongols only united it. What the fuck do you know about civilization? What the fuck do you know about pride? What the fuck do you have to be proud of? Except looting, genociding, and destroying the cultures and peoples and wealth of this world. What the fuck do you know, Cans Cuck?
Well, you're the one here chimping out, so...
I am chipping out, bitch, because I'm a fucking human being. And you're a little soy boy cuck, little bitch. You don't know who the fuck I am.
No, I see you. I think you're a Mongoloid. That's what you
I am a Mongoloid. You're right. It is what I am, and I'm proud of being that.
Well, it's an anthropological term. It doesn't actually mean Mongol.
Oh, so what's your fucking point? You ugly, disgusting, fucking ugly, disgusting, fucking barbarian, smelly piece of shit. You want to talk racism? I can be way more racist than you, Angloid. What fucking civilizations did Angloids ever fucking have? It needed the Romans to fuck all of you in your ass to give you any civilization. You never had any of your own. You want to be racist? I could be way more racist. You want to talk shit about Asians? What the fuck do you have on Asia, huh?
I have nothing on it.
You have nothing, because you're a Cans Cuck, bitch.
Oh my god, it's all, we've come full circle. I didn't even realize it. Okay, sorry.
The president had available to him intelligence from all elements of the government. And the National Security Council members had that information. It was all shared, it was all supplied, and it's never certain. If it were a fact, it wouldn't be called intelligence.
The thing is that when I grew up, like most of the media that I consumed, the vast majority of media I consumed was talk radio. This is why when I think of like conservative commentary that I consumed growing up, it was Rush Limbaugh, obviously. I think Billy Cunningham did radio back then. It was a lot of Glenn Beck. It was a lot of Michael Savage. It was a lot of, I think Sean Hannity was doing it back then as well. Yeah, these are like all the, so I'm used to I just hear everything. I don't think I actually watched a lot of like news. So for like, or on TV, I usually listen to things on talk radio. Hardcore debates. Wait, is Lycan?
rockets they use are indiscriminate weapons and are fired on civilian areas. And, you know, it doesn't matter how many times you say that's a war crime. People are like, well, you're holding water for Hamas. It's like, no, it's just on the list of war crimes, one side has way higher count than the other. And I want the side that, you know, we champion, that our nation, that our friendly nations, our allies, that we champion as the only democracy in the Middle East. You know, some people have said to me the most moral army. I don't know if that's a common talking point, but a guy I debated the other day
well, I mean,
said
it's
that.
definitely what Blinken would say, right? Like, the whole point of the human shields narrative, like Blinken only said the other day, like the difference between Hamas terrorists and the IDF is that we don't use human shields. I mean, we talked earlier about how that's not true, right? But like, it's definitely part of the narrative is that Israel and the IDF are the moral army.
Would you guys be happy to open this up a bit to Samantha? Because I know she'd like, because she's got sort of more of the military input as well. I know she might disagree.
I mean,
is that food?
Yeah, sure.
Samantha,
sorry. Oh, yeah, no, not food shops. Food shops have absolutely no military experience. So yeah,
if you
have you seen food shops? Come on.
I don't know. Being in Twitch poll can give you a middle ground on that.
We are dealing with a force that is not acting with any sort of concern for human life and dignity.
No concern at all.
So, but like, I think it's a callback to like a lot of the things that Al Qaeda and the Taliban did, where it's like once they found out our ROE said you cannot fire upon a mosque or a school or anything like that, they would take those up as fire positions because they know we didn't target.
Oh wait, are they just doing like their own conversation, or I noticed Lycan didn't respond to me.
Well, yeah, Israel's not supposed to say that. According to international law, Israel then has to act proportionally. Do you endanger this protective status of a school, of a church?
Oh, Vivian's scared.
When you refuse to leave these areas,
that doesn't give Israel carte blanche to. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because we had 4 weeks.
I'm still speaking, sweetheart. Okay, this isn't your Rosa Parks moment. Get to the back of the bus for a minute, okay? You can continue in a second.
Jesus.
Wow. Like in Fallujah, we dropped pamphlets for 7 days saying if you are an enemy combatant, leave Fallujah. If you don't leave, we're going to treat you as a combatant and you'll be met with the force of the United States military.
Join anyway? I don't even know how I could join. Where would I even join at?
We fucking rolled through Fallujah and everything that breathed, we made stop breathing.
Yeah, so 4 weeks and 6 weeks of combat, and both of those 600 civilian casualties and then 600 civilian casualties. Like you said, we spent days ensuring that as many people as possible could get out. The IDF said you have 24 hours to get the fuck out, and they only changed that after the United Nations and the rest of the West said, hey, fuck that, you can't do that, that's way too fucking much. Do you think they would have changed that if no one had stepped in? Do you think they would have changed it if no one had stepped in?
Don't know, I'm not there.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's right, they're all on Twitch, I can't join.
The food and
well, I don't know actually if it matters that much. If I'm live for like 20 or 30 minutes, it probably doesn't matter that much.
West push back. So again, do you think Israel would have? I'm asking you, gun to your head, to make a value judgment here. Do you think they would have changed anything?
I don't know if they should have changed anything.
That's a little.
Okay. What I'm going to
say. Yeah, that's what Mike actually was saying.
I'm happy to flip over to Tech. I'm quite interested because I haven't.
Oh shit.
I want to see where that goes, especially with the research.
I've seen almost no content from Destiny on this.
Yeah, I want to. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this.
Oh, I know he's done it. Yeah. And I can imagine what his position will be. It will be whatever he thinks will piss off the most lefty of lefties.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm actually kind of interested to see what this goes. Look, I'm gonna keep this reasonable though. So I will actually start active modding. What I'm going to do is I am going to flip over to Kick. Like, if you're speaking to Destiny, what I'll do is I'm just
Lawson, thanks for the $20.
An invite into the group chat. Can you send that over to him?
Yep, can do.
Is that all right?
Yep.
Because I don't think he's in my server. Fuck, I can message him myself, I suppose, but we'll put it in. We'll see how it goes. I am going to flip over to Kick. So for those that have it, that's fine. I'm not going to raid us out or anything. I'll be live there in like 2 minutes. Okay? Right, so I'm going to stop streaming. Go to the Kick channel. It's in the text chatty thing. Thank you, Hoz. And I'll see you guys over.
I haven't ever even been near Kick.
It is a hell site. Okay, cool.
I'm not surprised.
Flipping over.
Seeing who set the whole fucking thing up. Yeah. Not surprised at all.
So. And then. Good.
All right, let's see what we get to be. It's Juniper. No, Junipers, please, Juniper.
Oh, we're live. Okay, cool. Right, we're live on Kick. It should be fine.
Hey, what is this?
That.
Full version of Palestinian medic picking up a gun, giving it to an innocent civilian to keep the fight up. What is the video on here?
Make sure that I can actually.
Oh, wait, hold on. Don't speak yet. Don't speak yet. I gotta turn off my Kick or my Twitch.
Okay.
Everyone, come over to same channel, Like and Cooks on either YouTube or Kick. Oh, wait, hold on. Don't speak yet. Don't
You're
speak
on
yet.
Kick
I gotta
too?
fucking turn off.
Every motherfucker's
Yeah, baby.
on Kick nowadays.
Everyone, come over to
Oh, of course you
same
would be.
channel,
You're
Like and
part of
Cooks on fucking.
You gotta swing over there.
Fucking. Hell yeah!
great.
Oh, listen. I'm trying to catch everywhere.
Understandable.
We can multi-stream now anyway, right?
Yep.
I could multi-stream Twitch, Kick, and YouTube if I could be bothered to start streaming again. I have considered it over this shit, to be honest. I've genuine. I said to you earlier, didn't I, Becky?
Yeah.
I was
No, it's.
might boot up
I'm
my
not mad about
own
the
stream,
Wolf
honestly,
again.
for the first time in a couple of years.
She's actually very to listen to because she like.
Right, cool. Liking you good? Can people say things?
I
now?
think
Hit it. Yeah, let's do it to it.
Yeah, cool. Hi, Destiny. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, pretty good. What's up?
Wait, can I say slurs on Twitch? On Kick.
This is on Kick, so.
Can I say slurs on Kick?
Which ones?
Amazing.
Yeah. You can
What?
actually do that. Which ones does it matter?
I just want to call myself a on stream and not get somebody's channel taken down, you know?
Awesome. Awesome.
Is that really funny?
Okay, amazing.
Hey!
Right, okay, we're gonna
Whoa,
we're
this
gonna
place is
reset.
quite good, actually.
We're gonna reset slightly. So we've got.
I do not approve of the slurs here.
We're doing Lycan. Destiny, welcome. Lycan, do you want to just take it from your last point, and we'll just sort of go from there?
I think the overall point is that civilians and press and medical staff have protective status, and I think it's very important that when there are wrongs that are done and it is proven that they have been unfairly targeted, that their protective status was violated. Like we went over with the UN report for, what's her name, for Abakla. I think we need to take these seriously, and that when we're talking about our ally, we hold both the Gazans and IDF to the same high standard. And just because the Hamas will fail to meet that standard doesn't mean that when it comes to Israel, we get to say, well, they put their people in harm's way and, well, they get to get targeted. No, we have to account for the fact that, while yes, those structures will lose a lot of protective status, the civilians there and the structures themselves still need to be considered when the IDF decides their course of action, which means you don't get to just drop a bomb on it. You have to choose whatever means possible to limit damage to structure and civilians.
Wait, am I crazy? Is it different from the point you just said? Do you think there was no regard at all? Not some regard, you gotta be careful about it? That's a different position.
As much as possible in relation to the threat posed, and the fact that 50% of civilian structures, unless we think Hamas is playing some sick game of whack-a-mole and moving from point to point to point, to the point that at each time they move, they are a significant threat to the IDF, which isn't the case, and I don't think anyone here is willing to argue that that is the case. Then yeah, the actions of the IDF in this war and wars past have been disproportionate and illegal.
I don't know if I'd say like a significant threat to the IDF necessarily, but that's kind of not the point of a military force, right? It's not about the significant threat to the military force; it's the significant threat to civilians.
Sure, and again, like what is the justification for taking out 50% of civilian structures? Is it a significant amount of death that is caused on a daily basis from rockets launched from those points? Like in the engagement of this war, we have 10-7 massacre that happens, and IDF wants to take action, and I do not fault them for that. What I do fault them for is 12,000 people dead in 6 weeks.
What should the number be?
Way lower.
What should the number be?
I mean, don't do gotchas with me, man.
Well, no, but you're saying the number is too high, implying that you know for a fact that it should be lower. So my question is, what should the number be, or what should it be around?
At this point, at the rate that, like, I think it was like 286 a week during Operation Protective Edge, where it should have been a ground invasion. So yeah, I'd say we should be probably.
Well, how many
at about
bombs were dropped
2,000.
in Operation Protective Edge?
Significantly less, but again, you can't justify the use of the bombs and say, well, hey, they're all hitting military targets, right? Again,
well, do we know what the
amount of
justification?
Civilian infrastructure.
Do we know what the justification?
What was the first point that I made, Steven? What was the first point I made?
The first point you made was that there were too many civilian casualties. That's what I heard. Right.
And
so
did
I'm
you
asking,
hear the part where I said, no, did you hear the part that I said, where I said that the bombs being dropped and the significant amount of infrastructure that is damaged, no one can reasonably say that each one of those targets was a critical point that had to be taken out?
Well, I don't know. What's an example of like a bombing that was clearly like unjustified?
You're playing a gotcha game because you know I can't speak to every single bomb that was dropped and the motivation for it, but I can make a critical bit of analysis.
Well, I would say, on the contrary, you're playing the gotcha game because you keep throwing this 50% number out over and over, which we both know is not true. I don't know why you keep saying that number. The 50% number is bullshit. You keep throwing that number out as evidence that clearly improper bombing is taking place, but I don't know. Is there any?
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you sure you want to say it's bullshit? Because we went over this one on your stream together.
Yeah, initially you had said 50% of homes were destroyed, and then when we looked for the original number, it was 44% of homes were either damaged or destroyed, and then we found the original number. I think it was like 10% of homes were considered unusable, and the rest had some type of damage. If you want to find the original one and tell me that I'm completely wrong, you can do it. But you keep saying like that 50%, like 50% of all residential neighborhoods.
I've gone between saying damaged and destroyed this entire conversation. So if you want to hit me with that point, sure. I will say that 45% have been damaged or destroyed, but I have the number right here, and this is from 3 weeks ago, and I think we're over 50% now.
Okay, so well, if it's a highly dense area, if you bomb one place and like a debris hits a building and like a window breaks, that would qualify as like the probably damaged building is with a window broken, right? But
and everything, yeah, sure. I mean, if we're gonna say that, yeah, just windows broken, you know, partially damaged, sure.
Yeah, so but then like then the question is for any of the strikes.
40,000 destroyed. 40,000 housing units destroyed.
Okay, sure. Do we know for a fact if any of these bombings were completely unjustified? Do we even have an inkling of that, or are we just going by the numbers?
No, I'm saying that I think a significant number, based on the number of casualties and the number of infrastructure destroyed, I think that it is completely justified to say that these were not posing significant threats.
You're totally that's coming from nothing. You're pulling it out of thin air, though.
Okay, Stephen, define for me when you have justification to attack a civilian structure that is protected under international law or a structure with civilians in it.
If the structure is being used dual use as a military purpose, it loses its civilian protection status. Number one.
No, it doesn't entirely lose the status.
Hold on. Yes,
the
it
status
absolutely
becomes compromised.
No, that compromise means you lose it. You lose the status.
No. Do you still have to consider? Do you still have to consider the civilians in when you choose how you're going to go forward with the method of attack?
Yes, but that's true of every single structure you attack. It's considered a military target, but even on military targets, you have to consider like civilian collateral damage. So
you do. And do you think that utilizing these bombs are the most effective method of attack?
Well, that'd be my guess. I haven't heard the U.S. suggest anything different. I haven't heard anybody else suggest anything different. So I don't know. If there's a more effective method, I haven't heard it yet. Everybody keeps saying there is.
The more effective method is a ground campaign, which they should have done from the first week. They do their bombings of initial key infrastructure, which is probably still going to cost a significant number of lives. But they go in after that and they do a ground invasion. You're going to lose far less people, and your troops are going to have to be far more discriminate in what they attack and how they go forward. If you're going to take out a weapons cache, if you're going to take out, you know, a stronghold or anything like that, yeah, it's going to be a little more difficult, and it's got to be done in a way that takes into consideration the minimum loss of civilian life.
First of all, there's no obligation for minimum loss of civilian life ever. That's if you can find me something like that, I'd be very interested. You have to weigh the cost of civilian life. Sure, you have to weigh the cost of civilian life in military targets. But there's no obligation under any international whatever to do the
obligation
minimal.
is that you can't put the risk on the civilians. So instead of choosing an option that might be more risky,
I wasn't aware there's a limit on one,
and instead opting for something like an aerial attack, yes, in that instance, you cannot put that risk on the civilians. You cannot opt for the easier option for you and your troops. You have to put your troops at risk.
That might be true, but if you can still justify it as a military target, you can justify it as a military target. There's no, like, if you can blow a military target up with an airstrike, there's no obligation that, like, if 3 civilians are going to die, you have to send your whole soldiers in anyway. Like, there's no obligation there.
No, the obligation is that you try to minimize as much as possible. So if you could save those 3 people by doing a targeted attack, if you've got 1 sniper sitting in a building, you're doing aerial observation, you have no reason to believe that anyone else is there, and you've got like a small, 3-5 person team firing rockets, or you have to assess whether or not that is providing a significant threat. And then 2, you have to decide what is the best course of action that can limit the number of people that die in that building.
Okay, is there any example of a ground invasion that is ever played by these rules ever in the past, even in the past 25 years?
Yes, Fallujah, Iraq.
So in Fallujah, we did no airstrikes at all?
No, we did airstrikes, but we spent 7 days evacuating as many people as possible before we did it. And then we only incurred 600 casualties each time.
I could be wrong, but
we didn't evacuate. We dropped pamphlets to tell them to evacuate.
Weren't there over 100,000?
We also used loudspeakers and translators to tell people to get the fuck out from the city perimeter.
Yeah, weren't there over 100,000 people killed, like civilians killed due to military operations in the Iraq War in like a month? Am I wrong?
In the whole entire war? Sure.
Yeah, the war, the whole war, wasn't the whole war like a month or something? Am I wrong? Hold on, I could be wrong.
No, the Iraq War was fucking 2003 to 2011 was OIF, and then
you're considering the whole occupation and everything afterwards. Okay, but I'm thinking like in our initial invasion, from invasion up to deposing of Saddam Hussein. Okay, somebody in chat said 9,000 civilians were killed in the first 3 years. So we were still bombing things, right? Where we probably could have sent in ground forces anyways. But it sounds like your argument could be used to like, you should never bomb anything ever because you can always go in with ground forces.
No, you bomb key known military targets, and you do so in a way that is going to minimize civilian casualties. Usually when we're in a war against someone like Saddam Hussein, we know where the military targets are. We're bombing bases, we're bombing airstrips, we're bombing weapons caches on military bases, but we're not bombing the middle of cities with no significant issue. I think we might
crazy. Wasn't Iraq like devastated by what we did?
I'm not sure. But for the most part, we are bombing key strategic targets. And so my point with Gaza City is that it might take some time, it might be protracted, but Israel is now in a heightened state of alert. The chances of another 10-7 coming over the border are significantly lower now after 10-7, and that the threat that they have to minimize is going to be the threat of significant death to civilian or military in any grand capacity. And then you use ground troops and you come in and you neutralize key targets. From that point on.
Like a question. So like with how we did things over there, right? So if we had ground troops in there, we still did bombings with ground troops, right? Because we call in casts, right? So like, of course. Okay, so ground troops isn't going to stop bombing. It's going to do just more targeting, like localized targeting. You're still going to end up with civilian casualties.
I'm not arguing against it.
They are still going to take fighting positions in buildings full of people because this is what they do. And
literally
we're
nobody
have to call
has
in
said
a JDAM or something on there.
Literally nobody has said that no civilian casualties should be incurred at all ever. And if you kill a single civilian,
so you're fine with civilian casualties. You just want other people there to be able to up the amount of casualties that would be in the area.
No. That the force incurring those casualties should take whatever means necessary to minimize the civilian casualties while attaining their objective.
Okay, that works great when you're fighting an army that has rules of engagement and tactics, not when you're fighting a terrorist group of jihadists who love to run into heavily populated areas to do the fighting in hopes that we won't return fire.
Okay, so if you have a bunch of fucking terrorists run into the middle of New York, then dropping a nuke on New York to get rid of those terrorists,
nobody's dropping a nuke.
Very fucking
That's like
bad.
A
I never said they were.
Example.
Never said they were, right? But we're talking about ridiculous.
The analogy is false, basically because of the nuke, right? Like the analogy, the hypothetical. It's not an analogy because it doesn't really it's not analogous. It's hypothetical. It's true. I think everyone agrees with it, so I'm why Vivian's saying. Classic, like, mistake by Vivian. So trying to make a hypothetical an analogy. Yes, extra civilian casualty are bad. You haven't demonstrated that's what's happening. That's the problem. You haven't demonstrated a nuke. If you're in New York and someone there's terrorists in New York, and you drop a bomb in a specific place, it's a specific bomb that doesn't even blow up any windows anywhere. It only does specific targeted damage. Then why does it matter? But now we're gonna pretend like it's an analogy and not a hypothetical, and it's gonna change course. Just pretend.
Ridiculously disproportionate means of wiping out those terrorists, right? Like, obviously everybody would view that as as a moral abomination, right? So there is at least some bar here that you and I both agree you can't do just to kill the terrorists because they've walked into a built-up area or whatever.
There is going to be some bar. I think we all agree with that. Like if like 1 million Palestinians have been killed so far, we're like, this is insane. But we also, I think it's important to understand that does everybody here agree that Hamas, yeah, that Hamas by design is trying to maximize civilian casualties? Do we all agree with that or no?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know if okay. Depends how we're using the word maximize here.
Yeah.
Yes, like when we're talking about Islamic terrorism, generally speaking, we're talking about like targeting civilian targets as opposed to military ones because if it's impactful, and this is like pretty well laid out in the literature anyway. But there's a historic precedent with this of like the targeting of athletes. For example, because you know it's going to have the effect. And generally speaking, it's the same reason we don't see terrorist groups attack things like energy grids much, because they're not looking at infrastructure or military damage, they're looking at effect public consciousness. So yes, by design as a terrorist organization, or a militia, their modus operandi is going to be different from a normal military.
Do we all agree on that, or do we disagree on that? We should start there. Do we all agree that Hamas, maybe I won't say maximize, but Hamas wants as many civilian deaths as like they reasonably can?
100%, yes.
I could concede to that. Yeah, sure. They know that there's going to be a PR benefit to more civilian deaths.
Okay, so does Vivian agree to that or no?
I'm not 100% sure. I think it's possible, but I can't fucking read them. When October 7th happened, I went on this tour of like talking about the Zarqawi method and how jihadist terrorists try to show the face of evil to the West and then the face of utopia to the people that they want to recruit. Right, that's the sort of TLDR Zarqawi 101. But like, one thing has disturbed me so far 52. Is that we haven't seen brutal execution videos of hostages, right? Which is something that I'd expect.
Why? First of all, we haven't seen it. Not relevant. Just like people were saying, oh, we haven't seen a video of the Ukraine war. It's because they don't see it. I don't even know if it exists. I couldn't even tell you. But you know what? Even if they didn't exist, it makes complete sense how they would. It looks terrible. Everyone in the world hated ISIS when ISIS had videos of them beheading people without any just cause. I shouldn't say just cause, but yeah, I don't think it's any good beheading anymore. Yeah, God, it sounds bad when I say it. There aren't good beheadings. You can't really behead someone in a justified way. I don't even like that sense, in fact. So actually, in general, that kind of stuff. But anyways, if everyone hates ISIS and Hamas trying to like show themselves like we are better than other groups, why would they film themselves brutally killing people? That doesn't make any sense.
To see from an Islamic jihadist group that is using this this kind of propaganda tactics. Do I think that Hamas are okay with civilian targets being hit and a lot of civilians being killed because it's like it works out good PR for them? Yeah, I think they probably are.
Yeah. Wait, just as a quick question, has Hamas ever done videos of executions? I thought that was like, I know ISIS does. I know I've seen others from, obviously,
well, yeah,
Al-Qaeda
and yeah. So Al-Qaeda and ISIS are the groups that you would most typically associate with Zarqawi. But like since then, obviously, a lot of other kind of groups around the world have learned from Zarqawi, right? Even going to like the base in the United States, you know, the weird ass neo-Nazi group, right? So, but it's just that if they were following this particular method of propaganda, I would expect to have seen some executions of hostages by now, like videoed executions of hostages by now. That's not something I've seen. Maybe they're out there. I don't know. Maybe I'm not aware of them yet, but I haven't seen any so far. But anyway, what I will say in response to your question is
weakest argument.
I think they're probably okay with civilian max casualties. Are they specifically trying to maximize casualties? I don't know. It's possible. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. We might add one other person.
Oh God, who now?
Somebody who's apparently IDF. Could be helpful.
Wait, not Raffi.
Wait, what? Do we need another pro-Zionist person here? Do we need that right now?
I don't know if we need it. Like we'll see how this is going for the Zionist side. I don't know if Zionist is.
I mean, we're not really even arguing Zionism or anything like that.
No,
We're just
not
arguing
really.
about whether or not the military actions are justified.
I mean, at base, is there any common ground between anyone here that, when looking at the actions, going, what is justified then? So at what point, for those that are condemning the actions of the IDF, after October the 7th, are you like, okay, well, that was too far? Was it like the immediate retaliatory bombing? Was it the ongoing incursions? Was it the blockades of water, gas, and power?
I mean, it was, yeah, sure. It was the, now, someone in Stephen's community continues to say that they did not give them a 24-hour notice to evacuate the strip. I have yet to find a counter source to this, and I've searched it every time that point's been brought up, so someone can please provide me that link. Very much appreciated. But I will say, until I provided that link, the 24-hour warning to get the fuck out of Gaza, where I do not believe that Israel would have ever changed their mind on that if it hadn't been for any sort of significant Western pressure. The continued blockade, or the escalated blockade of food, water, supplies to Gaza, and the initial airstrike, I'd say about 48 to 72 hours into Israel's retaliation, they had gone too far. The significant number of deaths in relation to any threats posed, yeah, I think that's a pretty big issue. And then I have another. Go ahead.
Would you say that about other wars though?
In what case have we committed that kind of an immediate civilian slaughter?
Afghanistan.
We
were there within 18 hours, dude. Come on.
We were there, but again, we weren't bombing the middle of Kabul city. We were bombing mountains. We were looking for Taliban and
civilians
Al-Qaeda
didn't live in mountains
strongholds.
too. Like, you have to understand, like, we did that, like, very quick, disproportionate, like, not disproportionate, but we did a very quick response to Afghanistan. There were civilians living amongst the Taliban in the mountains. Korangal Valley had, like, it was the
Not by
Taliban
any
stronghold,
significant
but it was
measure,
also had a
sure.
ton of civilians.
Not by any significant measure.
So
I'm
then what
looking
is
at
the number
time
that's
frames of
acceptable to
these-
you?
Listen,
What is
I
the number?
said
So
that
we
if
have that
this
kind
is
of
going-
response, but now you want to shift to, like, well, it's a number.
I'm not shifting
not on that
anything. What I'm
scale.
saying is that, yeah, if you look at 6 months and not 12,000 people dead, most of which are going to be civilians, half of which are going to be children, yeah, I'm going to take a huge issue with
Game
the time frame.
crashed.
Take your fucking time, be strategic. If you want to go after this enemy, absolutely do it, but do it in a way that takes into consideration international humanitarian law and the lives of civilians.
I honestly don't think that. I think that whatever response Israel did, like, the world would be up in arms of crybaby bitch shit over.
If Israel didn't have a history of disproportionate response
See,
and
so hold every
horrible
so
bombing
like
campaigns, yeah.
You agree? Everything Israel does is bad, like is what you
What would
said.
have been okay? So I think this leads back to like the earlier conversation about the military occupation versus kind of air force striking.
If I'm just wondering, right?
I just love that Light can just own the fact that if Israel's anything, the world will condemn them. Basically, oh man, I wish someone there could do the logical conclusion to the argument, because the logical conclusion is Israel can never defend themselves. He doesn't want to say that, because if I imagine if you ask him specifically, like, would Israel want to, does Israel have a right to defend themselves? He's going to say yes. But what he just said there completely is against that argument. Basically, he said, well, what Israel done in the past is bad, so they have no right to defend themselves. It's what he just argued. Now, he's not going to, like I said, he's not going to own that position, but that is what he said.
Like, if some nut job militia came out of in Alabama or whatever, right, and started murdering random civilians in neighboring states, what states neighbor Alabama? I don't know. But started murdering people in neighboring states, right, and then went back to Alabama, and they're all sort of like hiding out among the town or whatever, like, and the U.S. Air Force did to Alabama what Israel's done to Gaza. Like, would you be okay with that?
Wait, hold on. Before anybody answers that, Vivian, I'm going to say that this is a horrible analogy. Can you guess why?
I can guess why. It's the point that I'm going to argue with you about. But do you have an answer to the question first?
No. The analogy, I'm going to reject the analogy, but I'm curious if you'll know why I would reject the analogy, because it's a ridiculous analogy, and you've made like 3 of them so far. I'm curious if you have any idea why, or if you are truly thinking these are good analogies. I'm just curious what you'll say. If I'm going to reject the analogy, why would you think I would reject any of these analogies?
Well, I think you're probably going to reject the analogy because you're going to say that that Alabama's like part of the United States, right? And that those are American citizens, as opposed to Gaza, who are ostensibly under the governance of Hamas.
No, not even close.
Not Israeli citizens.
What I'm going to say is you're pointing out one lone shooter or one lone gunman in a state that the vast majority of the state would probably heavily reject and would probably cooperate with the rest of the federal government.
No, it said some nut job militia came out. Right, I'm talking about...
even a nut job militia. Notice how you have to phrase that, nut job militia? What if you made it more accurate?
Like
what if you said that Arizona was being invaded by the LAPD, that the LAPD grabbed 50,000 officers, they would cross the border into Arizona to shoot and kill people, and then go back to California, and that when the federal government was like, we need to see these shooters, and they go, sorry, we're a sanctuary city, we don't cooperate with the federal government. And then these attacks continued for 20 years. At that point, and let's say that the citizens of LA were like, they haven't held elections for a while, but, we did vote them in, and we do think that we need to be violent against Arizona because it's Arizona. Jesus, who likes Arizona, right?
But also the LAPD was funded by China, Russia.
No, we don't even need that part. We don't even need that part. We didn't need
This
that
is
part.
difficult for me because my knowledge of American geography is about as good as Stephen's knowledge of geography in general.
Okay. One at a time.
We're trying to make a clip.
So with that analogy, or we can go with like Tijuana and the cartels, right?
Wait. I want Vivian to engage with that. I want Vivian to engage with that. The police force.
Right. So you're talking about the length of the situation, right?
No, I'm talking about the fact that it's the representative police force of a region that ostensibly has some kind of support from the citizens and is like operating in a territory with said citizens, and then going over and doing terror attacks on a neighboring state.
Okay, cool. In that situation, would you be okay with the response from the American government?
If the American government went to California and said, California, you need to turn these people over, and California says, not only we're not going to turn these people, if you try to come in and get them, we will kill you, and we're going to start hiding these cops in like civilian houses and shit. If at some point these attacks continued against Arizona, the U.S. government's like, okay, well, we're going to start marking houses and bombing parts of your cities if you're not going to do anything about this. Yeah, I think that there is a stronger argument for the federal government there to do violent intervention. Yes.
Okay, because I mean, like, mainly my point with that is that they're still that these people are, at least to some extent, the responsibility of the Israeli government. We're not really talking about a war between two foreign powers. Like, it's almost a civil war.
How is it a civil? It's not a. How is it a civil war?
Well, because Israel occupy Gaza, right? And a military occupation.
Does an occupied territory become part of a civil war if it's an occupied territory?
I said it's akin to a civil war.
It's not akin to a civil war. A civil war is two of the same people fighting against each other. Pretty sure Palestinians would rope you if you called it a civil war, because that means that's considered themselves the same people as the European settlers that came in.
A civil war is not. Okay, a civil war is not necessarily two of the same people. It can be two different ethnic demographics, definitely. Two different religious demographics, definitely.
Oh god, she just doesn't want to engage with anything. It's so easy. You can easily attack someone saying civil wars can be between different people. But like, why are you like being so obtuse about this? Like, it's like we different ethnic groups and stuff. No, it's two nationalities. Nationalities, Vivian. Nationalities. They're not the same thing.
right? It's that these two people are united under one government, right? Which is essentially the claim that I'm making, is that at least to some
Palestine's
degree,
not united. They're not under the same government.
Israel
They're under
governs
military
Gaza,
occupation.
right?
Israel does not.
if Iraq had revolted us or Afghanistan revolted us against them, we would call that a civil war. Why are you being so pedantic?
Govern Gaza. They have blockades and stuff, but it's not. They're not governing it.
Yeah, true.
There was a separate government. There is a separate.
There is a separate government. You're absolutely right. Right. That's why I said to some extent, Israel has control over Gaza. Right. Israel is a governing force in Gaza because it controls certain things about the way people get to live in Gaza, especially what resources they can have, but also where they can go, what they can do, etc.
What the
Sure.
fuck?
I mean, if you want to do it akin to a civil war, I mean, if that's the case, then you probably would expect to see this level of destruction, then, right? How many didn't over 500,000 people die in the U.S. Civil War? Like, there's a lot of. I mean, if that's the comparison you want to go with, but
yeah, to put it in super simple terms, like I think Israel has as much responsibility, or nearly as much responsibility, for the citizens of Gaza as they do for their own citizens, right? The people they would actually consider their citizens. And especially even more so in the West Bank, right, where they're still fucking murdering people.
And also where Palestinians are murdering Israelis and other terrorist groups are murdering Israelis as well, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Palestinian terror groups are murdering Israelis, and Israeli terror groups are murdering Palestinians, and the Israeli state is murdering Palestinians, and the Israeli state actually has appointed ministers within its administration who are members of terrorist groups, or who were members of terrorist groups that have murdered Palestinians. Yep, and in Gaza, you have a devolved government, let's call it, right, in Hamas, who are terrorists who've murdered Israeli citizens, etc., etc., etc. Right? But my point
that's
is
fine.
that,
And the leader of the leader of the PLO, the moderate Palestinian government that the rest of the world is hoping to hand shit over to, okay, Abbas, his PhD dissertation was literally talking about the relationship between Nazism and Zionism.
Nobody has any fucking faith in Abbas. Everybody's like, fucking Abbas is useless, right? Even in the West Bank, nobody has any fucking faith in Abbas. Anybody proposing Abbas to take over is a fucking idiot. All right.
The reason they don't have faith in Abbas is because they don't think he's extreme enough. Hang on. Done for today.